direct your attention to center court for a special message from two of today's team captains, Dirk Nowitzki and Thabo Sefolosha.
Hello, good evening. Welcome everybody on behalf of Team World. Thanks for coming out to support this wonderful basketball game. Hope we're going to have some fun. I know Team World is not the fan favorite, but we hope we can put on a good show and hopefully win the game. Thanks a lot for coming out.
Good evening, good evening. Man, what a feeling to be here. Man, I'm so proud to be representing South Africa in this NBA game. Thank you for the warm welcome. But this is an NBA game, so now it's our turn to welcome all of you to this NBA game. Thank you, South Africa. Thank you, Africa. Thank you, Team World, for everything that you do for Africa here, growing the game, one player at a time, one city at a time, one country at a time. We love you. I love you. Johannesburg, my melody. Enjoy the game, everyone.
As we take a look at the starting lineups and so many recognizable players, particularly on Team World, and you look at Dirk Nowitzki, of course, but how about that starting backcourt?
Well, you love it. I mean, two explosive scoring point guards who want to get into the paint. Think about Kyle Lowry and the all-star he's become in Toronto.
Colleagues here in the NBA, fellow players, C from the country of Africa, and he just beamed with pride about the opportunity that so many of them. And there you go, and you mentioned that Alvin Gentry had a game plan at the start of this game, right?
He wanted to foul right away. Remember, it's transpired over the last several days by these NBA players working for Habitat for Humanity, visiting a shanty town, literally, oh, nice little alley-oop backdoor play, good pass put on target. But the reality is these guys were literally in the NBA, Russell Westbrook teaming with Paul George. I can't wait to see, because you think about the defense they've got on the perimeter now, adding a guy like Paul George.
Sefolosha off the mark on the drive, and back the other way comes Kemba. Courtney Lee strokes the three. First three ball of this game for Team World.
And a little smile as he heads back up the floor. Think about Courtney Lee, how consistent he has been. 6 times in his career, he shot over 40% from three. I just like his demeanor professionally. Are still a long ways away. It'll be interesting to see what's next. We've got Kristaps Porzingis, who will at some point hit the floor.
Doris, I was struck at how much Cousins has really changed his game. We know he's a scorer and a rebounder, but he's really expanded his game to the three-point line as Serge Ibaka.
Guy who's developed his perimeter game. I remember watching him in Oklahoma City, just worked so hard. First the mid-range, now that three ball for Serge, and offense is starting to light up a little bit. That guy has trimmed down. He's not giving up exactly what has been his diet and exercise regime, but DeMarcus looks like he is in the best shape of his career.
Knifing his way to the rim. 4 points, and now a turnover. And one back the other way. Here comes Team World. 5 All-Stars on the roster. There's one of them, the Pelican star, Boogie Cousins. Yeah. And now leaking out for Team World, Courtney Lee, unable to connect on the layup. Moutier lays it in. He's got.
See what happens. Obviously, he's going to have to improve his shooting as his career moves forward. Moutier.
Well, not a ton of defense to start this game as Kemba Walker lays it up and in, giving Team World gobbles up that rebound. Lowry in transition to Kristaps Porzingis and one.
Boy, how about Kristaps Porzingis post-up game? This guy goes from 14 points as a rookie to 18 in his second year. Go ahead, use the crossover, a little mid-range.
I'm not so sure Mark Cuban was as excited as everybody else is about the mentorship between Dirk and nothing run.
I don't think I'd ever think I would hear that out of your mouth. Andre Drummond with the three. LeBron James on the way to one of those historic number of record straight NBA finals, but he was dynamite.
Here's Jaylen Brown, the young Celtic star, getting on the board for the first time.
It's a young man.
The offseason for Danny Ainge, right? They acquire Gordon Hayward via free agency, trade Avery Bradley to Detroit for Marcus Morris, of course, draft Jason Tatum as well. Such a sensational Game 3 in the Eastern Conference Finals when everyone counted Boston out. They were blown out of the building in Game 2. in their building, and then they went on the road to Cleveland. I think sent some nervous moments through LeBron and the Cavaliers heading into Game 4 and throughout the rest of that series. There's Jaylen Brown off the board, and it's thrown down by Andre Drummond from Detroit to Johannesburg.
Put it on the deck. He's really long. I think he can guard multiple spots. I loved Jason Tatum in the draft.
Gave a glimpse of what he could do in the summer league.
Very curious to see the kind of year both Detroit and Andre Drummond have.
Yeah, Drummond averaged 13 and 14 as Porzingis tips it up and in. But you're right, and that's interesting to hear a player open up and say, you know what, I didn't play up to my potential last season. Entire season. That's saying something as
NBA, because both guys are so skilled.
Three-pointer by Cephalosha, representing South Africa.
And he was talking, of course, about the spirit on the continent. And listen, the grassroots basketball piece, thanks in large part to the Players Association, the NBA, and all the work they're doing, it's getting better and better. It's why they're so earlier you play it.
Luol Deng, one of 3 African-born players to make an NBA All-Star team, is Oladipo.
One of the great shooters, and certainly he is. But his game diversified over his time in the league.
Victor Oladipo knocks down a contested 3. It's been a strong... Dennis Schroeder tries his hand at a 3, and we are tied up. Your point, you think of Dallas so much as a football town, which it is, but the superstars to play in the city of Dallas, you put Dirk Nowitzki up there right next to...
Think about him playing one of those games in Miami with a temperature that hit 103 degrees.
Oladipo knocks it down again. He's got 11 points. He's been one of the big sparks for Team Africa. CJ McCollum drills a 3. And the other superstar in his backcourt, I don't know if people realize how great a player CJ McCollum is as Clint Capella throws one down.
No, I 100% agree with you. Put it home, 91% from the free throw line. CJ McCollum's got plenty of game.
And by the way, he can keep playing it for a while if it's...
The Carmelo Anthony drama, which hung over the New York Knicks franchise all year long. The trading of Barb's back.
World over, and then they give it right back up. Here's Cousins. Courtney Lee, as we speak about the New York Knicks. The Knicks guard knocks it down. 9 points for Courtney Lee, and the lead is back up to 6. Here's Dennis Schroeder all the way. But you don't hear that with Adam Silver. He's done just such a terrific job at taking over as the face of the NBA.
Listen, Adam Silver, and to bring the NBA experience to that continent and continue to grow the game as Dirk, that little up fake, got that defender off his feet.
I suspect we'll see more of Dirk Nowitzki in the second half as DeMarcus Cousins, our halftime guest, throws it down.
Here's when DeMarcus Cousins says, it's the summer and we're doing defensive slides.
Well, and as Oladipo lays it, the incredible talents in the NBA, and you hope at some point you can put it all together and recognize just how good you are and how...
It's time in Africa, and one of the things they talked about is this guy right here with the basketball is going to be an unrestricted free agent after next year, and obviously New Orleans has the most money to offer. You know, the NBA schedule should come out this week. Guess what he wants for his opening game on the road at SAC, because he didn't get to go back.
As Dirk knocks down a three-pointer, first points of the game for Dirk Nowitzki. Here's Cephalosha all the way. Thabo Cephalosha, new member of the Utah.
Yes, yeah. And Quinn Snyder, of course, highly respected, and obviously that was a blow to...
And off the drive, it's Moutier all the way.
Ready for camp after that knee surgery. I know he's not playing today and only played 31 games last year, but he will be back, he says.
Fans with what he might be if he can stay healthy. It struck me, you know, he's on a minute watch even over the summer here. He didn't even get to play.
Have had the Sixers. He's got a gigantic personality. He has totally embraced Joel, the process, Embiid.
Jang and Embiid as members of the Basketball Without Borders program. Well, Mbah Moute, since going back, has run his own camps, and he said he had Embiid as a camper in his camp. As Dirk nearly forces the turnover, Cousins does. Team World in transition. Lowry lobs it up, and Courtney Lee lays it in. There's Clint Capella muscling one up and in. Three-pointer by McCollum. There's Kyle Lowry, who's played more here in the third quarter. Dallas has more than his work cut out for them in that loaded Western Conference.
I'm curious to see Dennis Smith in the NBA. I had him a couple of times at NC State.
He showed flashes in the NBA Summer League and what that potential might look like as Moutier lines up a three, and suddenly it's back down to a two-point game.
Well, it goes to the point. As well as he has played, Moutier with 17. Mike Malone is coach.
Playing here in South Africa, the home court advantage, if you will. Here's McCollum working on Moutier. Gorgeous move by the Blazers still.
C.J. McCollum was 5'2", 108 pounds. And in 2016, he goes on to win the NBA Most Improved. Don't worry if you're 5'2", 108 pounds.
First half points.
He's shooting that.
Oladipo.
He's shooting that. The way he's been shooting. Oh, what a heck of a pass.
And Porzingis.
This is the two bigs.
Biyombo tried to crush it over Porzingis, and it came out. Here's Hollis Jefferson. Long jumper by Jaylen Brown. Brown throws it up with one hand. It goes down and one.
Thank you for following up, Jaylen Brown. 7-0 run for Team World. All right, they need a bucket here.
Moutier's a guy that's had the hot hand throughout, and he continues. 20 points for Emmanuel Moutier. 9 of 14 in 26 minutes. And suddenly Team Africa can make this a one-possession game. Schroeder all the way. It's down to a 4-point game.
How about that? You go.
Here's Cephalosha. Long jumper by Oladipo, but it stays with Team Africa. And then the feed to Cephalosha down low. It's a one-possession game. Drummond turns it over. Schroeder gives it up. Oladipo finishes, and it's down to a one-point game.
That all starts, though, because of the active hands.
As we near the halfway point of the fourth quarter, one-point game. Moutier gives it up. Cephalosha a three.
Could see what they were thinking, though. Gorgui Dieng wanted to sprint into the screen.
Oh, what a feed. McCollum to Porzingis, who flushes it with one hand.
Didn't need the guide hand. What a pass by McCollum.
Oladipo had a chance to tie it up. Misfires. Here's Jaylen Brown. Strong finish, and suddenly Team World back in front by 5.
Roster should have 15 spots. There's 3 NBA teams. That's 15 guys. The fans want to see the players. Damian Lillard, nice little backdoor play. They should, to me, Kevin, I don't know what you think, there should be 15 guys on the All-Star.
Look at Eric Spoelstra working on the sidelines as we near 3 minutes to go here. McCollum's three into the arms of Oladipo. And now Cephalosha, a little cherry picking, throws it down, no missing that one.
Team Africa within 3 as we wind down toward 2 minutes.
Hollis Jefferson backdoor, drops it off. Drummond throws it down.
You got to foul him there. I don't think they would ever do a hack of Drummond in this situation, but strategically you wouldn't mind it.
It would be extreme as Team Africa turns it over. Moutier throws it down. This is a team that can compete.
Come on now, I don't know how you can't love Nikola Jokic's game. Boy, what a pleasure to watch.
Minute 45 to go, 3-point game, and now a whistle and a foul.
I think they are going a little hack of Drummond strategy here.
Whoa.
Somewhere Jeff Van Gundy is lighting up the strategy. NBA game they'd go to. You didn't think they'd do it here.
How do we? I think it's a question that the league has to consider at some point.
It's under 2 minutes. He gets a second to go.
Oh. Drummond, a 39% free throw shooter during the year. He goes 1 of 2. And it's back up to a 4-point game. Here's Moutier. Oladipo, 2 of the stars for Team Africa. And it's back down to a 1-point game.
So they give the ball to C.J. McCollum. They look like they want to use Drummond as a screen, but he rejects it, uses the left.
McCollum has it blocked by Moutier, who leads the break. Gives it up. Dennis Schroeder loses it. Team Africa could have grabbed the lead. Instead, Team World behind Kyle Lowry, who knocks it down, has a chance to complete the three-point play, and Doris started the reaction. Lowry's up to 10 points, make it 11, and the lead is back up to 4-7.
Instead, Kyle Lowry gets him an opportunity at the charity stripe.
Africa has led for just 90 seconds of this game. Oladipo too strong and into the arms of Porzingis as we dip under a minute to go in Johannesburg.
Wasn't this the score exactly of the game 2 years ago, I think, 101-97?
6 to shoot it. Lowry working on Ibaka. Kyle Lowry all the way. Raptor on Raptor crime right there as Lowry finishes and gives Team World a 6-point lead. Oladipo's been sensational. Emmanuel Moutier as well. Cephalosha's played well for Team Africa. Here is Oladipo. Deflected off Drummond, and it'll stay Team Africa ball. Moutier, the 3 over McCollum, way too strong. Jaylen Brown rebounds it, and that might just be it.
Are they going to go foul him? Yeah, it looks like they're trying to get the foul.
15 on the game, and a 7-point lead. Drummond the rebound, and there you go. That might just put this one on ice again.
Correction. Foul on Jaylen Brown. His 5th personal.
Here's Moutier. Exceptional game for Emmanuel Moutier, but an 8-0 run to close things out for Team World. And there you go, the electrifying finish from Jaylen Brown to put an exclamation point on this 2017 NBA Africa game. 7 world players go for double figures in this showcase that turned into a real entertaining basketball game. And for the second time in the 2 games that have been played in this NBA Africa initiative, it's Team World that comes out on top.
And the winner of the Manute Bol MVP Award from Team Africa, Victor Oladipo. NBA fans, one more round of applause for Victor Oladipo, along with all of our players from Team Africa and Team World competing here in Johannesburg at NBA Africa Game 2017.